we go. Now, yes, we're going to be picking up where we left off the other day. Hello, good to see you.
Hi.
Now, we do also, as said in classroom, welcoming our new class member who is joining us remotely today. All right, and she will then join us in real world times at some point in the future. All right.
Who's that?
I might pronounce your name wrong. I apologize. I'm going to try. Janelli?
Janelli?
Yeah,
Yes, is that right?
yeah, that's right.
That's okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Let me know if I pronounce it differently.
Okay.
Okay? So she will be here at some point. Pretty good. So you're going to go on to nearpod.com or go through the classroom and click on the link. Hopefully that will work too. And the code is EQRAF, and we will pick up where we left off discussing money, which is always useful to do.
Is it a sheep? I think it is.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's so awesome. That's actually cool.
I am a magician.
Yes.
Wait, where's the...
Right. So we're going to continue on. Here we go. We're going to be thinking about, now what I did was I took the money topic and thought, yeah, let's add a bit more.
Yeah.
So then I've also added the consumer choice topic, and then I thought, yeah, let's add a bit more. So I've also added the trade unions topic. It makes it a bit more meaty. All right. I've updated the Google site to reflect the additions. Okay, don't panic though. It's nowhere near as big as your market failure topic. All right, so don't panic about that. All right. Okay. So let's discuss money. All right. Now, we had a wee look the other day at the history of money. We discussed what it was. We thought about how in the past we were using paper for money. We were using shells. We were using animals, all of these different types of monies, okay, that we would call money. So we worked out that notes and coins that you have in your wallet aren't necessarily money. Okay? Money is going to be something that you consider to be valuable. Whether that is a note and coin or whether that is the cow in the backyard, that will be up to you. Yeah. Or the painting of the flowers in your living room. Yeah, that might be considered valuable as well. So that's where we've been, and we've also started to just a little bit think about what money might be in the future. So whether you have any notes and coins, whether it's all going through the computer, whether it's all going through your phone, whether it's don't even need the phone, just turn up and the camera sees you and you've paid for it. Yeah, those sorts of things will happen and are currently happening, and so the future of money isn't quite what we think it is, and it's also not necessarily what the textbook tells us. All right, so just to be mindful of that. Now we talked about something called, we briefly mentioned something called the functions of money. Now when people talk about a function, they're talking about something's job. Yeah. It's also usually the second question asked of anybody in a social situation. First one, what is your name? Second one, what do you do for a living? What is your job? What is your function? Yeah. A bit more robotic. You might find that quite an interesting one. In New Zealand, when people used to ask me that, I would tell them I was a lion tamer. I found it quite funny. Mainly because some would say, really? At which point I would say no. But I was teaching in New Zealand school, so, a whip in a chair, and, so not far off, I don't think. So when we think about money, we do have to consider what job money has to do. And the idea is this is its job. If it can't do this, we can't call it money. We can't use it that way. All right, that's the point. All right, that's why we look at this. So money is going to be, one, have to be able to be a medium of exchange. All right, we hinted at that the other day, and we're going to go into a bit more detail about it in a second. Money has to be, point number 2, a unit of account. Scary, I know it sounds, you think to yourself, accounts, that sounds very mathsy. Don't worry, it isn't. Money has to also be something called, point 3, a means of deferred payment. Oh dear. Deferring things. Means you're taking the fur off the animal. You're deferring it. No. All right. Yellow. We're going to figure that out in a second. One more second. All right. And point number 4. Money is going to be a store of value. Again, we know what a store is. We're familiar with it. We might go there and buy our lunch sometimes. Okay? Now, but this is going to be a slightly different version of the word. How many functions, therefore, have we identified? 4. So you're going to need to know 4 functions. That's it. 4 things money has to be able to do. And we're going to see that it is entirely possible that circumstances are going to happen and cause money not to be able to do its job. In which case, oh, we need to figure something out. Yeah. It's also why when you are talking about the future of money, all right, these are the things you need to tick off on your list. Can it do this? Can it do this? Can it do that? And if it can't, oh, you can't use it. Yeah. So we said about a medium of exchange the other day. So that word medium, we said, was going to be meaning in the middle. In the middle of exchanging, trading. All right, so that's where money existed. We need money to be a unit. Yeah. Isaac probably considers himself a bit of a unit. You probably don't use that terminology in the hip young people speak. But that was a New Zealand teen slang for a while. Oh, bro, you're a bit of a unit. Incidentally, 1960s rocker Frank Zappa named one of his sons Moon Unit. He named the other son Dweezil. Moon Unit was quite a common one. It's also pop culture reference number 2. Also the funny joke in the Austin Powers movie, when Austin Powers is discussing with Dr. Evil about his moon base, and Dr. Evil says to him, this is moon base Alpha, and this is moon base Zappa, which was the joke about Moon Unit Zappa. But that would have gone over pretty much everybody's head other than mine. Right, so if we have a unit of account. Now, again, we come back to this idea, and Angie knows this one very well, I'm sure. All right, at some point in your lives, it is entirely possible that mum or dad stuck like a little wee measure on the wall and put a little wee mark saying how tall you were growing. Yeah? That was because you were tall. That was why I mentioned you there. I have no idea whether mum or dad did that with you, did they? Yeah. Yep. All right. So in this, we need to have money so that it gives us a measure. Not of height, but of value. We need to be able to use money to measure value. And again, if we can't do that, then there's no point in it. Yeah? There needs to be some way of demarcating how valuable something is. Means of deferred payment. Oh, bringing out the fancy words for a Thursday. Deferred. Now, do you think you've ever deferred anything? I think you have. Let's see if you can figure this out without looking up and asking Dr. Google. let's imagine there's something coming up. You've got like, I don't know, a test, you've got an assignment, you have to hand something in, and you go to the teacher and you say, oh, could I hand it in tomorrow? What are you doing? Trying to hand it in later, procrastinating. Yeah, maybe. All right. Trying to hand it in later. You are deferring it. You are putting it off until later. So one of money's jobs is going to be, as we're going to see, the ability of money to put off until later the payment. And you might, again, you might know this. You might have borrowed some money from a mate and say, oh, I'll pay it back tomorrow. Yeah. All right, borrowed money from the bank and say, I'll pay you back in 20 years. That happens. Okay. All right. And money has to be a store of value. Now, you've seen store. All right, if you see the word store here, think warehouse. You have to be able to hold your value. It's important that you know that 10 ringgit today is 10 ringgit tomorrow. Now, each of these is going to have an impact on the other, because if 10 ringgit today isn't 10 ringgit tomorrow, it's going to make it difficult to do this deferred payment business. Yeah? It's also going to make it difficult to have it as a measure of account. Quite difficult, in fact. All right. 4 functions of money. Let me see if I can do it in another language. Let's see. Un, deux, trois. That one. Hey, multilingual. Hey. There you go. Can I say it in New Zealand? Tahi rua toru wha. Yeah, New Zealand's got 3 official languages: English, Maori, and New Zealand Sign. That wasn't a sign, that was just me waving my hand. Yeah. That's a sign. So it's that. Right. Yeah, that's more an obscene gesture than a sign, but yes, I get what you're going at. Right, but the best one though, if you've got, as like with Harley when he was little and we were teaching him to speak, right, is American Sign. That's baby sign. So it's very simple signs. It's sit, right, swing, right, jacket, cold, drink, eat. It's really straightforward. So you pick up sign really quickly. So it's really good for little kids because they have difficulty explaining themselves because they don't have the language. So that's a good way to teach them language. Yeah? Right, so there's that first one that we talked about, the idea of a medium of exchange. This solves a problem. If it's in between the trading, all right, we don't need then barter. Because money's there. You don't need to trade one good for another, you've got money. You can trade the good for money. Right? Not saying money solves every problem, not saying that at all. But it does solve the problem of a double coincidence of wants. Because money is, as we're going to see, acceptable by everybody. Right? Someone was to run into the room with 100 ringgit and say, who wants it? Yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't say, no, that's all right. Yeah. There was a motivational speaker in America. He did a motivational speech to high school students. This is going back a couple of years. And it has been repeated a number of times by other people who have tried it, and varying successes. And he stood up in a whole school assembly, and he stood up in the assembly, and he held up a 100 American dollar bill, and he said, who wants it? And immediately everybody's hand shot up. And then one kid from the back of the room got up, walked all the way down, where he was sitting, walked all the way up to the guy and said, And so he gave it to him.
Oh, and then he stepped up. Right?
Yeah, because the point was is that it's somebody prepared to take action. Yeah, not just passive. Yeah. They did try the same trick in New Zealand, try and motivate New Zealand students. Yeah, had a slightly different reaction. Hold up money in the New Zealand school and say who wants it, and you're going to get trampled. Yeah. Okay. A double coincidence of wants. We know one person wants a good, another person wants a different good, but the fact that they both want it at the same time is regarded as a coincidence. But they're both perfectly happy to have money. Hoping you are too. No, I want to sleep under the bridge in a cardboard box. All right. You know, there's an economic study out now that looks at the impact on the economy of South Korea of BTS. Right, how big an impact it's actually had, and it is quite remarkable. Big an impact it has had economically. All right, so question number 1 for you to try. Here it is. What does it mean for money to be a medium of exchange? Where you go?
I just copy and paste it.
Secret squirrel.
Yeah, okay. I just copy and paste.
Yes, Tracy, you're the person who knows the answer, and then in the middle of the exam sticks up their hand and says, the answer is this.
Sorry.
So there we go. See what you can get on.
Yeah.
You want me to? What do you think?
All right, have a go. Put an answer down. A bit more noise out here with the windows. Sorry. Good. Very good. Well done. Which one are you trying to see?
No, I'm just trying to see the notes.
Well, it should be on your screen as well, shouldn't it?
I'm looking at other people's.
Yeah. Which one do you want? All right. Good. Yeah. Point number 2. What do we say? How? Dua? You know I have to do that when I do it, because otherwise I'm not going to probably do it right. Yeah? A store of value. Any value you're able to measure by using money. It's worth this much. It's worth that much. Yeah, and you do that. You yourselves probably go into a shop and ask the shopkeeper, how much is this? You do that. You don't just trust that it'll get scanned and magically you'll be able to afford it. No? Yes? Sometimes I will actually look at the price on the barcode, yeah, and then they'll scan it, and it'll be on special, and I wouldn't have known that, and all of a sudden it's cheaper than I thought. Ooh, bargain! Amazing. Of course, in New Zealand, we used to tell the students not to go into the dollar shop and ask people how much the things were. You do that too often, and they kick you out. How much is this one? $1. 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 Get out. A store of value. We're able to keep the value. You're able to hold on to it. You're able to save that value. It's warehoused for you so that in the future you can still use it. Anybody ever had a banknote in their pocket and it's gone through the washing machine? Yeah? In the old days, they used to be made out of paper, and so when they came out, they were just all mush.
Now they kind of still do it.
Yeah? Well, I know I'm really old, all right? But in the supermarket, the bank gave us a rule in New Zealand, might be different here, and it was like a table, and depending on how much of the banknote there was, it was still considered legal tender. Yeah. So if it was, 2/3 of the banknote, as long as the number was still there, you could still accept it, and the bank would still honour it. All right. But if it was 2/3 without a number, no. And if it was less than 2/3, no. Yeah. And remember, it used to be made out of paper. And New Zealand's a British colony, yeah? So they have like pictures of the Queen on them. So the students would like draw like little horns on the Queen, and vampire teeth, which is illegal. Don't do it. It's called defacing government property. You can actually get fined for it. But they used to find it quite funny. So what does it mean for money? No. This is a closed exercise. Fill in the gaps. Store of value. Closed exercise. Fill in the gaps. Some sort of weird TikTok dancing thing. Yeah. You know, there are people who are on TikTok who teach economics through TikTok.
Oh.
It's a physics teacher.
Is there? I don't know how that goes.
Do you watch the show?
No, I haven't really. I've seen it when it's on TV. I do have the app, I think, on my phone, but I wouldn't know first thing about how to even navigate the thing. I guess it's just a search, and you search for things. But
A lot of people say that we should just print money.
just
People say we should just print money.
print money.
So that everyone gets money.
Well, it's interesting because if TikTok is now the new thing that you will use, then that's where education needs to go. Yeah? Because that's what's going to reach you.
No, but people, like, they teach the wrong stuff.
Quite probably. That's why the right people need to teach the right stuff.
That's true.
So, yeah? Well, maybe, but I'll need to figure out how it works first and how to do it and what it actually means. Because the only thing I see is I've got a year 12 who she was, even from like when she was in year 10, did TikTok dance things. And I see her doing that. And I don't know what that means. But that's what I thought TikTok was, just a whole lot of videos of people doing dances. And so I don't see how you could learn economics through the medium of dance. I don't know. All right, so we would have come up with this idea here. Right. Right, we talked about this one. How you're able to understand the measure. How you're able to see something and quantify it and say this is how much it is. How mum and dad are able to put the mark on the wall and you understand what it means. There's usually numbers there. There's usually something you understand about it. Yeah. If you've gone to another country and looked at their currency and gone, what is this? How does this work? No? Maybe? Obviously not at the moment, but.
Right. Give me a minute. No! Oh! Can we go back? Yeah, can we go back? Thanks. Thank you.
You just want to look at me when I was little. It's not me. But I thought it was funny.
Professional software. No, that's
All right.
I don't know. Oh, this is my phone. I don't know. Oh, that's my car, right?
So what does it mean for money to be a unit of account?
You got the notes. So hard to pronounce. I copy and paste.
Why have you called yourself Tracky Chacky?
Oh, that's my Instagram username. Go follow me on Instagram, man. Even though everyone can.
But Instagram isn't TikTok.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huh? Oh, does that?
Well, Instagram isn't TikTok, is it?
Yeah. I don't use it.
Yeah. So how are they going to know to follow you? Because they won't be on.
No, they follow me on Instagram.
Oh, okay. But I thought they were all on TikTok.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Good.
I forgot that email. But it looks more like it. It's like you, my guy. You're really cute. Yeah, that's good. Janelle sounds more high class. Janelle sounds more like. Yeah, she's not high class. It's fine. If she hears it, then I die. Hi. Huh? I don't think she's in class. So if she's not in class, then.
Okay. Now, the fourth function was the means of deferred payment. Doesn't matter which order you do them in. The idea being, as we saw, that you were able to put off paying. I'm going to buy it now, but pay for it later. Now, there are two other ways you can explain it. First way is to talk about debt, right? Next way to talk about it is to talk about it in the context of, whoops, misspelled, credit. People who offer up to you credit, people who are offering you a loan, which might put you into debt, right? In order to pay for a certain good or service, yeah? Now, I'm hoping you don't have loans, but you might, right? You might have, as said, borrowed money off of a friend, you know, and you pay them back. Yeah, you might borrow money off mum and dad to update your computer, and then you pay them back with chores at home. I know.
Does that count as bartering?
No.
Because using like service to pay for.
Tempted to say indentured servitude, but yeah, you're a paid servant in that sort of case. All right. Now, this idea of debts and credits, you see it. You can't really avoid it. Okay. And apparently in Malaysia, there's a lot of it. And yes, I was tempted when I was in the Apple shop. The iPhone 12 was talking to me, wanting me to buy it. But then I saw the price tag. Yeah. But very helpfully underneath it, there was a big sign that said, you can buy it, but you have to pay 200 something ringgit a week. Or a month, I can't remember how much it was, for 2 years. Buy now, pay later. And apparently lots of people do that. Means a guaranteed revenue for the company, means a guaranteed customer for the company, means that in 2 years' time you're going to go back to the company and want an upgrade. I get you again. I did that with one of my first computers in New Zealand. I didn't really do the maths particularly well, which is a bit embarrassing from an economist, right? And it worked out that if I kept paying, I ended up not paying, right? I ended up paying to get out of the contract, right? Yeah, it was a computer that was on a payment plan. So I bought it now, and I was to pay for it X amount a month for 2 years. Yeah. Then I thought, that sounds fantastic. And then I did the maths on how much that would actually cost. And it turns out that I would have, by the end, paid more than twice the cost of the actual product. So I went and saw them and said, yeah, no, I want to buy my way out of this contract, which did cost me a bit at that point. But at the very least, I was out of that contract and not paying it on a per monthly basis. But money enables you to do that. In fact, this is such a prevalent idea that they even give you little cards. Some of them are debit cards. Others are credit cards. Perfectly happy for you to borrow money on a piece of plastic. Remember, the average number of cards per American is 5 credit cards. Okay. Use one to pay off another. What you might not know is that credit cards come in different kinds. Yeah? There are some credit cards that are different colors. So there are gold credit cards. There are some credit cards that are platinum credit cards. Yeah? There's a black one, is there?
Yeah, that's like the top.
Okay. Yeah. And they all have different amounts of credit that are available to you when you use them. Now, I did mention the school that we were at in New Zealand a couple of times already, so I apologise. Here's another story. Mr. David, he's always telling stories, right? This particular case, you know, some of the kids had a bit of money, right? A little bit. You know, and I might have already told you about the story about the girl who flew a helicopter to school. Yeah. This is not too dissimilar. There were two kids in school. One was 14, the other was 16, boy and girl. All right. Their parents decided that they wanted to go on a cruise around the world on a boat. Don't do it now. Not a good idea. Yeah. They decided to do it. The only problem was they had two kids. So they said, tell you what, we'll leave the kids at home and we'll go on the world cruise. So that's what they did. Yeah. Then of course, well, the kids need food and they need to live. How are they going to do that? So parents pulled out the credit card, which was a platinum credit card, and gave it to the 16-year-old. Said, there you go. Buy your food. Now, unfortunately, the two didn't necessarily buy it on what the parents thought they might buy it on, but they invited all their friends around a few times, and pretty much whatever anybody wanted was bought. Yeah. The point being is that money enables credit to occur. But there are other people. Scots are quite famous for not borrowing money. People of Scottish descent. Yeah. Some people will suggest, like my grandmother, that you need to save the money and then buy something. Don't go into debt. Nope. 40. Yeah. Our friend May in New Zealand saved up all of the money to buy a house outright.
Wow.
Took her a really long time. Yeah. But did not want the loan. We can understand that now because we got fed up with mortgages and we just sold up. Yeah. Okay. Sold all of our houses and just said, no, that's it. Of course, we were going overseas, so it was a bit easier than other people. So, credit enables you to do that. Money enables you to have credit. You can have loans that are personal loans. You can have loans that are student-based loans to pay for your student fees. You can have loans to pay for cars. You can have loans to pay for houses. And those ones are called mortgages. And if mum and dad get close to retirement, sometimes banks will come and, knock on their door and say, we've got a new loan. It's called a reverse mortgage. And what they do with that is they give you all of the money from the mortgage up front, and you can use that for as long as you want, okay? But you are handing over the ownership of your house at the end. Yeah. So the idea is the money is supposed to be your retirement, right, for you to live on, and then you die, yeah, and then the bank takes your house. But it's for people who have a house and not money. Okay. So what does deferred payment mean? I don't think I've spelled that right. Doesn't matter. Good. Good work, Connor. That's quite big of a throw.
Do you want?
All right, okay. So deferred payment, the ability to delay paying for goods and services, and money will enable you to do that. Now, here's a chart for you to play mix and match. There are 4 functions. All their descriptions are there. See if you can match them in the right place. There you go.
Oh my God, no.
Well done.
Let's go 4 tracks. Right. Only 4 tracks. Let's go to G. Let's go 4 tracks. I 4 tracks then.
Oh,
Yay.
you know what's I got
All right.
Oi. Oi.
Good. Well done.
Imagine doing more than 4 tracks, bro.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we had these pairs. You might suggest they're more apples than pears, but that depends on who your greengrocer is.
Bunny.
I'll be here all week to try the deal. All right. Now, the next part is to think about something called, and it is confusing because they both begin with the letter F, right? The features of money. Another way to think about it is the characteristics of money. Another way to think about it is the behavior of money. How does money behave? Yeah. So this again is that third part of the social compact, if you will. What is your name? What do you do for a living? And then the third thing, what do you like? What do you like doing? What do you like as a person? Those are the sorts of things that you find out when you first meet people. Yeah? So those would be the features, and they're the things that you would then, if you were introducing someone to someone else, you'd say this is their name, this is what they do, this is what they're like. Yeah? Their characteristics, what they behave, how money behaves. And again, it's about money has to behave in this particular way, because if it doesn't, it's not going to be able to do its job. Yeah? And money needs to be able to do its job, otherwise it can't be money. Well, these ones, which we've seen before. All right. Number 1. Durable, like the battery. They need to be able to last. Money needs to have it needs to be reasonably substantial. You need to know that if you put it in the washing machine, there's a chance that it's going to come out and still be usable, hopefully. Although don't try that with your credit cards near your cell phone. Good old magnetic cards and a magnetic phone. No. Wiping your cards is a good idea. They need to be able to last. They need to be portable, as we said the other day. It's difficult if you are using cows as currency. It's difficult to carry your cow. Yeah. Once you've got the cow on your back, it's difficult to move. All right. Point number 3 needs to be divisible. You need to be able to make change. Somebody needs to come with what's called a larger denomination, which means unit, and be able to trade that for smaller denominations or units. And in some parts of the world, those units can get very small. And we talked about America with nickels and dimes. Well, if you've been to some other countries, some of the banknotes can have quite large denominations. Yeah. Thailand has 1,000 baht notes. Yeah.
I've ever seen a picture of the 100 trillion on it.
Yes.
I was only worth like 30 US cents.
All right, the good old Zimbabwean banknotes, in particular, they're the holy grail for economics teachers. They're the ones who I want to go up there. Eventually, one day, maybe. Right, I have to keep an eye on eBay perhaps because they come up every now and then. And point number 4, they should be hard to counterfeit. And we saw some designs of different currencies and how they've all got colors and patterns, and some of them have got, you know, invisible pictures in them, magnetic stripes in them. Sometimes the colors only appear when you wave a UV wand over them, all of that sort of idea. Point number 5, you should be able to accept the currency. And as we said the other day, if Anyi was to write on a piece of paper, $100 million, sign it, right, take it down to the nearest car dealership, say, I want a car, here's my money, I don't think they're going to accept it. I don't. So you have to accept it, and that's where some of the monies in the history of the world have fallen down. Because the population has said, no, we don't like that. We don't trust that. No, we don't want that. They can become big arguments, even just the pictures of the people on the currency. I mean, New Zealand's got the Queen, but not everybody's a fan of the Queen. Yeah? Not everybody likes Freddie Mercury. Yeah, I like that one. Sometimes it's just about amusing me. I don't really. Right. Point number 6. There needs to be some value to it. Now, what that's going to mean is that they're going to need to be, here's the other economics concept, so we're linking them, we're synergizing. Right. They need to be scarce. Right? If everybody has money, that doesn't mean as much. It's not worth as much. Everybody has $1 million and everybody's a millionaire. It's not worth as much to be a millionaire. Yeah. All right. That woman who just got elected out in the US, all right, she is the wealthiest US senator in the history of America. Her net wealth is over $1 billion US. Just her. All right. Her husband is the owner of the New York Stock Exchange. Got a bit of money. But if everybody's a billionaire, well, yeah, it's not going to mean the same. It's not going to be worth as much. Of course, Jeff Bezos, well, he's hundreds and hundreds of billions.
He's not much different, like
Yeah.
something
Okay. So in order for it to be valuable, it's going to need to have some scarcity attached to it. All right, so that's going to link to that one. Get rid of those. Make it disappear. Now, I do apologize because there's more than 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you've only got 5 fingers per hand, so maybe you can add one. I'm going to say you've only got 5 fingers. I haven't counted. Assume. So those are the behaviors that we need money to be able to do. Have a go at explaining 2 of them. There you go. What you need at school is a Coca-Cola can orchestra. That's what you need.
Is a Coca-Cola vending machine.
Yeah, you do. Chocolate tea. Although Coca-Cola used to pay schools to put the vending machines in them, which was very good business for the schools because they would use that money for their sports teams principally. But then, of course, the schools got a bit upset with that and said, oh, you know, we're teaching healthy living and healthy lifestyles. And you know, there is a bit of ethics with regards to all of that sort of stuff. I mean, Coca-Cola sponsoring the Olympics, you kind of think, yeah. Coca-Cola sponsoring America's Got Talent. Yes, I understand that. That makes sense. Yep.
Maybe not.
How are we getting on? Good. Yeah, Angie, I want you to explain them, dude, not just list them.
I see. Wow.
Good. Yeah, lynching, it's explain. Yes, so Angie, when I come to you and then say, what does it mean for it to be durable? I'm guessing you'll have an answer. Very good, Lynn. Well done. Well done, Ginelli. I hope I'm saying your name right. Ellie.
Ginelli, not Ginella. Hello. La calle Ginelli.
Right.
Oh, I didn't see the I. It's an LLIE. Not a LLE.
Okay, now I put these up for visualness because some people are more visual than they are text-based. So, standard of deferred payment, when is it that you're paid? You're paid in the future. Unit of account, you can see all of the units there listed, the account. You see the value, you're able to store it in your little piggy bank. It's able to be in between exchange. Difficult to counterfeit. There's it's durable and portable. Holds its value over time. Yeah, that's a Zimbabwean note there. You can see that one. It says, I think that's $20 billion, that one. Yeah. And it is acceptable to people when you're making transactions. All right, now, get to the task, yes. Yes, we have. Right, so here's going to be your task. A slide is going to come up very soon. You'll see. Okay. Now, here's what I'd like you to do. You are going to be the Google doctor. Right. What I would like you to do is to collaborate. And listen, no. Pop culture reference. Yes, no. All right. You can work out who you're going to collaborate with. If you want to collaborate with all of the people at your table, you're welcome to. If you want to collaborate with everybody in the class, difficult to do, but possible. But I'd like you to share a doc with at least one other person, if not more. All right? Okay? And you're all going to work on the same document, however many people you're sharing it with. Okay? Therefore, you're all going to get the same information, but you're going to be seeing how different people explain things. Yeah. Okay? So does that make sense? Now, we also have Andy and Janelli, who are virtually with us. So it might be nice to include them as well. All right? Okay, they both have email addresses. You can link them.
Then we can join the call, like inside the call.
Yes, you can.
Come with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course you
Then we
can.
can.
All right, now, so decide, good idea to decide now who you're linking with. Do a share of the document, because then I'm going to put the tasks up. So the tasks are these. Here they are. Right. So, what are, what? Functions and features of money. What is barter? What is the double coincidence of wants? How does money solve it? And why does money need to be scarce? Now, if you're sharing the Google Doc, you could possibly share the different tasks among the people. Yeah? Up to you. All right, we've got a few minutes. You can start now.
You going or not? You going? No, not yet. Going.
Hello.
No.
Let's ask if anybody.
No. Where are you? Why are you here? Why are you not at the screen? Can you put your thing on
Are
the?
you still on the call?
Wait, did you update your MacBook? Dude, it's so cool. Dude, your MacBook is not like that. Oh wait, did you update the MacBook? Oh. What the hell? Look, mine is still old version. What? I will. Hey, stop. Stop. She texted something.
Hey, Jesse.
Everybody wants to watch. No. You guys take Andy.
We will work with you.
No, we will take Janelle. Yeah, she's called Janelle. Oh, where is she?
Wait, she can hear us?
Yeah, I guess so. So why did you leave the call? You guys have to work with Andy, guys. Connor, you have to work with Andy. Because I don't know. What are you doing?
Wait, how do you choose it?
This is the layout.
Yeah, but you can like
You can.
stop and
No, because you can.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Charles, say hi. Okay,
Really, do you want to work with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
well, I can't hear her. Can you hear her?
Yeah, she said yeah.
No, I can't hear her. I'm kind of deaf.
This is Lynn.
No, don't
This is Tracy. Sorry, I'm too bit shy.
Yeah. I'm not funny.
I'm off.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. What are we supposed to do?
Make a dog. Lynn, you're gonna scare her. Lynn, stop.
Do you guys want me to open the camera?
You actually want to join us? Maybe she just wants Oh, no, I said if she actually wants to join us. Because she maybe is like just like forced to join us.
Yeah, true. It's okay. We don't force you.
Hi, I'm Wen Ching.
What?
My name is Wen Ching Tan. Hello. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay. She's a bit shy, so
No,
yeah.
I was never shy.
Don't mind
What are you
that.
talking about?
To be fair, I'm the same.
Sure lah.
Wait lah, why so kanchiong? Eh? Aiyo, no, come lah.
Wait, should I open my camera?
Sure.
Turn on your camera.
Was it her that was talking?
Yeah, I think. Oh, hi.
Oh,
This is Tracy.
Hi.
oh, look that one lah. One already. Oh, yeah, cute.
Oh, what class are you joining?
Tutor.
What tutor class are you in?
And
Sorry, say that again.
Nani? Oh, so loud. No, it's there.
Yeah, Mr. David, can you like turn off this speaker in your MacBook, please? Turn off this speaker.
If not, there will be like echo.
Yeah.
Did you turn on the sound? Can you put it louder?
Yeah.
Put a note.
Okay.
Talk to her.
So what tutor class are you in?
Pardon?
What tutor class are you gonna be in?
Maybe she can go home.
There's more than one microphone.
Okay, I share the door. I can't see the person. Oh God, hold on. Stop. Wait, can we like? Okay. Problem solved.
Echo again, it's okay. Echo.
Dude, guys, we need to do the question. Get on the dog.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Functions and features of what? Money market.
What is this?
Oh no.
Wait, what?
Oh, shit, Twitter.
Well, it's not my Twitter.
Why do you know we had a Twitter?
What?
Okay, this is the three question.
Is there stalker in here?
Why?
Okay. What is stupid, bro? Wait,
Who took a picture?
you. What? Dumb
Tracy,
G.
show your face.
Oh,
lah.
why? No.
She's so shy.
Why are you in here, Charles? Charles, why are you in here?
Where's Phil?
Dude, he came in to say a hi and then he left.
Oh.
What a weirdo, bro. Hi.
Hi. Okay, we said tons of highs. Okay, we have to stop.
We need to do work.
We have to do work.
Okay, function and features of. Did she got the thing? I think I shared it to her.
Where do I check it?
You
Go to your
email.
엄마 깜짝아. Money dead.
No way, bro. I believe I can.
If money not scarce, money has to buy. Value comes when
Dude, what a coincidence then. They both have like the same.
But that one's Janelle. That one's Janelle.
Yeah, but they both have like. That's a bit of a coincidence.
Am I saying your name right? Janelle?
Yeah, correct.
Ah, okay.
Is this her? No, wait, no, this is not her. Is this her? No, that's not her.
Tracy is trying to stalk your Instagram right now.
Stop! Keep it a secret. Now it's not a secret anymore. Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Why?
No. Oh, that's okay. Never mind.
Oh, you're Thanos.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, maybe.
Not one.
Okay, maybe then it's like names like Evelyn's names. They never have their name. Never mind.
I request to follow you.
You no, that's not her.
Not her.
Really?
Wait, what?
It's not you?
Okay,
No,
so
no.
so basically what
No,
happened
stop.
So like
Stop it.
Tracy found the account that looks like you and I
No, it doesn't look
I
like her. It's just named as her.
yes, like it was same name.
Okay, it is. That's
embarrassing.
why you guys should stop talking about it.
I love how she's so confused right now.
No, she's just shocked that you are so busy. No, wait, what was I about to ask? I was about to ask something. Oh yeah, why you're not coming to school?
Oh,
Like
COVID.
actual school, not like
No, I request.
No, that's not her.
Oh
Stop.
really? Is this not you?
Okay, ask her.
what?
That's not her. Stop. You can tell.
No, that's not me.
Yeah, you're constant saying No, ask. Liz, ask for the.
You asked.
No, you ask.
That's why.
Okay, I'll ask. What's your Instagram username?
Friends.
Yeah.
Just my full name.
Type it in the chat, please.
Yeah.
What if she doesn't want to give it to us? That's kind of it. That's okay.
That's kind of sad.
Well, it looks like I'm grounded for a year. What? Evelyn is grounded for a year. Nice.
I just needed to read some
Okay. This one. Wait, do we have to?
Huh?
Do we have to do it?
Yes.
Wait,
I'm doing.
Okay, thank you. You can do.
Wait, what? Did she type it in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanna
Don't
see?
get too excited.
Hey, stop lah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lah, hello.
I follow.
Stop, Lynn. Oh, I was close. I guess. I'm a lawyer. Be careful. Except then, I don't know. Also don't know. You know? You don't
Hey,
know.
we need to do work. I was gonna do double
Oh, she was in. Dude, knew she was in Wait, you were in local secondary school before this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you
Eh? SMK 啦，大哥。
SMK. Which one?
大楼下面。
Oh.
This.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
We found you.
Stop. My God, you sound such a freak, bro. Give me. Hit me. Wait, so do you speak Chinese then?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you Chinese?
I'm half.
Oh, so you're mixed.
Yeah.
Of Chinese and.
Hi.
Oh, it's like Tanya. Okay. Cool. Oh, okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I would
She
like
could
to
have
do now
graduated,
is
maybe.
to
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
obviously finish sharing your Instagram contact.
So like I need to
But
find example of it.
tasks
Yeah,
would
I
be
think so.
really good
Okay, I did one question. You guys do the rest.
Okay.
if they could be done before we meet next. Now we meet next on Monday. So I know there's only a couple of days, but because you're doing it collaboratively, you could possibly get that done. That would be great.
Yay.
All right, so sharing it, discussing Instagram, all those things. All right.
I'm gonna do
Now,
last question.
other than that, paint stuff.
Wait,
in
I'm
your
doing it
head,
already.
You're doing it
green
already?
stuff for your hands.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
Okay, you do.
Take yourself away and start getting up to lunch.
Yeah.
Wait, where's she?
Just to know,
Go back.
obviously,
here.
Go back lah.
Get la.
Stop turning the camera, my G.
Just show your face lah. So shy there.
No. Okay, yeah, it's the end of the class. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you,